Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're zeroing in on something we all do, but maybe don't always think too much about, introducing ourselves.
Right?
We've taken a close look at a transcript from Speak English with Class, specifically their self-introduction and English video on the English Leap podcast. Our goal in this deep dive is, well, to give you some solid strategies and actionable steps so you can introduce yourself confidently and effectively, no matter the situation, without feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, consider this a focused exploration into making those crucial first moments really work for you. The material we looked at really underscores just how significant those initial interactions can be.
Absolutely. The transcript highlights that a well-thought-out self-introduction can immediately convey confidence, warmth, and approachability.
Hmm.
Conversely, an unprepared introduction can unfortunately create the opposite effect. Okay, let's unpack this. Why is it so important to really nail this seemingly simple task?
Well, it taps into something fundamental about human interaction. First impressions.
Yeah.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. And, well, it really holds true here.
Yeah.
Your self-introduction is your opening statement,
Yeah.
and it lays the groundwork for how people will see you moving forward.
Mhm.
Interestingly, studies in social psychology show that these initial positive perceptions formed within just a few seconds can create what's called a halo effect, influencing how people interpret everything else about you.
That's fascinating. So it's not just about those first few words, it has this ripple effect.
Right.
And it's not just about how others see you, is it? The transcript also touches on how being prepared can really dial down the anxiety.
Oh, definitely.
If you have a good introduction ready to go, you're much less likely to get flustered or have your mind go blank.
Precisely. It's like having a reliable tool at your disposal. When you know what you want to say, you can shift your focus to actually connecting with the other person or the audience,
Yeah.
rather than being stuck trying to figure out what to say in the moment. The video we examined uses a helpful comparison. It's like having a map in an unfamiliar place. You feel much more in control and know where you're going.
Love that analogy. Really good. And here's where it gets really interesting. A memorable self-introduction can leave a lasting impression.
Hmm.
The transcript emphasizes that people are more likely to remember you if you introduce yourself with clarity and confidence. It's like leaving a little mental bookmark in their minds.
And what's fascinating here is how that initial clarity and confidence can actually, unlock opportunities, whether you're aiming to build new relationships, make a strong impression in a job interview, or simply feel more at ease in social situations.
Mhm.
A solid self-introduction is often the critical first step.
So it seems like the impact is bigger than we might initially think. But don't worry, we're going to break down the whole process step by step, just like the video does. Our aim is to make these principles really easy for you to understand and apply so you can craft your own effective self-introduction. Let's start with those fundamental components, shall we?
So,
The first thing the video looks at is the greeting. Seems straightforward, but there are nuances, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
In more formal environments, like business meetings or when addressing someone in a position of authority, the video suggests sticking with traditional greetings like hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
Okay.
The crucial point, as the transcript mentions, is to match the level of formality of the situation. And a really key distinction it makes. Good night is used for saying goodbye, not for, starting a conversation.
Oh, that's a really important point to remember. Yeah, you want that initial greeting to set the right tone immediately. Now, what about when things are a little more relaxed?
Well, the video indicates that in informal settings, you have more leeway.
Mm.
You can use casual greetings like, hey, hi, or even, what's up? It's all about creating a relaxed and friendly atmosphere.
Right.
The example given, hey, it's great to meet you, really captures that casual but welcoming vibe.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly. So choosing the appropriate greeting is about making the other person feel comfortable and establishing the right kind of connection right from the outset. You wouldn't want to come across as overly formal in a casual setting or too casual in a formal one. It's about finding that initial point of connection.
Okay, so greetings covered. Makes sense. Let's move on to the next essential element, stating your name. The video offers a few different ways to do this depending on the context.
Yes. For more casual situations or when you're meeting, say, a small group, the direct I'm your name is presented as a very effective approach. Simple.
Like, hi, I'm Jennifer. Nice to meet you.
Exactly. The example, hi, I'm Jennifer, nice to meet you, is perfect. It's simple, friendly, and gets straight to the point.
And if you need to elevate the formality a bit, perhaps in a professional setting.
The video suggests using "my name is your name" or the contraction "my name's your name." That slight change adds a touch more professionalism. The example, "Good afternoon, my name is Daniel, and it's a pleasure to be here," really shows that difference.
It's interesting how those subtle variations in wording can really influence how you're perceived, isn't it?
It really is.
Absolutely. And for those moments when you're addressing a larger group, maybe on stage, what does the video recommend?
There it suggests, "This is your name." The key here is clarity, making sure everyone, especially from a distance, knows who is speaking.
Ah, right.
The example, "Good evening, everyone. This is Jennifer, and I'll be guiding you through today's session," makes that crystal clear.
Okay. And what about over the phone? That's common too.
Good point. And in today's world, yeah, phone introductions are important. The video suggests using "Hi, this is your name speaking" to avoid any confusion about who's on the line.
Like, hello, this is Daniel speaking. How can I assist you today?
Perfect example. It's a great standard.
So the main takeaway here seems to be really think about the specific situation and the tone you want to convey when you state your name. Small adjustments can have a significant impact.
Exactly right. Now, let's move on to the topic of stating your age. The video presents a couple of options here.
Right. If you're comfortable sharing, the video suggests a direct approach. I'm age years old. Or even just I'm age, like I'm 35 years old. Straightforward.
Yeah, very direct. But the video also recognizes that, not everyone is comfortable sharing their exact age, and sometimes it might not even be relevant.
True.
So in those cases, it suggests a more general approach using phrases like, "I'm in my late 20s," or "I'm in my mid-30s."
Ah, okay. Like the example, hello, I'm Jennifer and I'm in my late 20s. That gives a general idea without the specific number.
Exactly. It offers that flexibility. So it really comes down to personal preference and what feels appropriate for the situation.
Makes sense. The video offers that choice.
Precisely. Now, let's explore another important aspect, location. This can involve more than just saying where you currently are, right?
Definitely. The video starts simple with the basic statement, I'm from location. That's a quick and easy way to share basic info about your origins.
Like, "I'm from New York." Simple.
Yep.
And in our increasingly interconnected world, especially when you're interacting with people from different countries, mentioning your nationality can be really useful. The video suggests, "I'm nationality," as in I'm American. Helps people understand your background a bit.
Good point. But the video also points out how you can add a more personal touch when talking about where you come from. Saying something like, I come from a small town in Italy. That adds a bit of personality, maybe a sense of your personal history.
Yeah, that use of "I come from" can definitely create a more engaging connection. Similarly, saying "I was born and raised in Chicago" emphasizes a strong connection to a particular place and your formative years.
And for those with maybe more diverse backgrounds.
Well, the video offers examples like, "I was born in London but raised in Toronto." This is great for illustrating a more complex upbringing and giving a fuller picture.
Okay, that's helpful.
And if your current residence is different from where you grew up, you could say, "I grew up in Boston but now live in San Francisco." This shows a bit of your journey and your present circumstances.
And in a professional context.
Ah, yeah. The video suggests linking your origin to your current work location, for example. "I'm originally from Paris, but now based in Tokyo." This could be particularly relevant in international business settings,
Definitely.
And if you want to provide more detail about how long you've been in your current location, you might say, "I've been living in New York for the past 5 years." Gives a sense of your connection to the area.
Or if it's more recent, something like, I've spent the last 2 years in Berlin.
Exactly. That indicates a more recent connection to that place. The video really provides a lot of options here, which is great.
Yeah, it does.
The key, really, is that you can choose the level of detail that feels right for the context and what you feel comfortable sharing. It's about finding that sweet spot between giving enough information and, well, not oversharing.
Absolutely. Good advice. Now let's move on to qualifications and education. The video keeps this relatively concise, it seems.
Yes. For a more casual introduction, a simple statement like, "I'm a marketing graduate," can be sufficient. It's brief, clear, conveys the necessary info.
But if you need to be more specific, particularly in professional settings.
Right. Then the video suggests adding more detail like, "I have a Bachelor of Arts in Marketing." This adds a layer of formality and provides more concrete information about your academic background.
Okay.
And if you're currently pursuing your education, you could say, "I'm currently taking a course in digital marketing." This shows your ongoing commitment to learning and development.
Got it. So the main point here is Keep it short and sweet in informal situations, but be prepared to offer more specifics, especially about degrees or fields of study when the situation calls for it, like in professional environments.
Exactly. Now let's talk about professional information, your job and company. The video offers different levels of detail here as well.
Okay, so in a more formal setting.
The video suggests being quite specific. I work at XYZ Corporation in the marketing department. This clearly states both your employer and your specific area of work within the company.
And if the company's well known.
Right, and you want to keep your introduction a bit shorter, you could simply say, I work for XYZ Corporation. This can be effective when the company name itself carries some weight.
Makes sense.
And if your role is particularly relevant to the conversation, you might want to focus on your position, such as, I'm a project manager at XYZ Corporation. This highlights your job title and where you work.
And what about keeping it more general?
Sure, if you want to keep it even more general, perhaps in a social setting where you don't want to focus too much on work, you could just say, I work in sales. This gives a broad overview of your professional field without getting into specifics.
Or I work as a deputy manager.
Yeah, if your specific job title is important for context, you could say, I work as a deputy manager. This adds that extra level of detail about your position within an organization.
Okay.
Again, it's all about tailoring the level of detail to the specific context and what you feel comfortable sharing. Sometimes a general statement is all that's needed, while at other times, more specifics are appropriate.
Right. Now, let's delve into the realm of experience. How can you effectively convey your professional background when introducing yourself?
Well, the video suggests a direct approach, like, I have 10 years of sales experience. This clearly communicates the amount of experience you have in a particular field.
You could also phrase it as, I've worked in sales for 10 years, maybe.
Exactly. That phrasing emphasizes the duration of your involvement in that area, which can be a powerful way to highlight your expertise.
And if you're maybe switching fields or talking about past experience.
Good question. If you're in a situation where you're highlighting experience from a previous field, you might say, I've worked in accounting for 3 years. This shares relevant background, even if it's not your current primary focus.
So the key here is tailoring the details to what's pertinent to the conversation.
Absolutely. If you're at a networking event for sales professionals, highlighting your sales experience is crucial. If you're exploring a career transition, mentioning previous relevant experience can help bridge the gap.
Got it.
Exactly. Now let's move on to a more personal aspect. Family. The video offers simple ways to introduce this topic if you choose to.
Okay, like just saying, I have a brother and a sister.
Yeah, that's a straightforward way the video mentions. It's concise, easy to understand, and shares a basic piece of personal information.
Or maybe something like, we are a family of 5.
Right. If you want to give a general idea of your family size without going into specifics, you could say, we are a family of 5. It provides a little more information without being too detailed.
And mentioning your place in the family.
If your position within your family is something you want to mention, you might say, I'm one of 4 siblings. This highlights your place within the family structure.
And if you're an only child.
Of course, a simple, I'm an only child is clear and direct. The video keeps this section intentionally brief, which makes sense.
Yeah. The main point here seems to be, keep it light and share what you're comfortable sharing about your family without feeling any pressure to reveal too much.
Precisely. Finally, let's talk about hobbies. This is a fantastic way to add a personal touch to your self-introduction and make connections on a different level, right?
Totally. So the video suggests maybe a quick and easy way like, I really like playing tennis.
Exactly. It shares an enjoyable activity, casual, gives a glimpse into your interests outside of work or studies.
And if you're really into something.
If you have a stronger passion for a particular hobby, you could say, I'm a big fan of hiking. That conveys a greater level of enthusiasm.
Or even, I'm a keen runner.
Right. Using keen, like I'm a keen runner, suggests a more serious level of engagement with the activity.
So again, it's about the level of detail you want to share depending on the conversation and the people you're meeting.
Hobbies can be a great way to find common ground and build rapport.
Okay, so we've covered all the key elements of crafting an effective self-introduction, drawing from the valuable insights in that video transcript. Now, what's the real secret to getting it right? It can't just be knowing the parts.
No, you're right. It's practice, practice, practice. The video strongly emphasizes that repetition and actively working on your introduction are essential for improvement.
Absolutely. And the video gives us some practical steps for how you can effectively practice. First, it recommends writing down your own self-introduction, incorporating all the components we've discussed today that are relevant to you.
That's a crucial first step, I think. Putting your thoughts into writing helps you organize them logically and really refine your wording.
Yeah, definitely. Then, the video suggests practicing in front of a mirror.
Ah, the mirror technique.
Yeah. It allows you to observe your body language and facial expressions, which are just as important as the words you're saying.
Yeah, that self-awareness is so important in communication. And the next recommendation is to record yourself.
Ooh, that can feel a bit awkward.
It can. But it's incredibly beneficial for evaluating your delivery, your pace of speech, your tone of voice, and any verbal habits, like filler words, you might not even be aware of.
That's true. It might feel strange at first, but recording yourself really gives you the opportunity to see and hear yourself from an external perspective. Now, the original video included a call to action, encouraging viewers to share their introductions for feedback. While we can't directly replicate that in this audio format.
Right, but the spirit of that encouragement is still really valuable, I think. We would strongly suggest that you, the listener, consider sharing your practice introductions with friends, family members, or maybe colleagues whom you trust.
Good idea.
Yeah, someone who can provide you with honest and constructive feedback.
Exactly. That mirrors the intention behind the original video, getting those real-world perspectives. So as we bring this deep dive into the art of self-introduction to a close, we want to leave you with a final thought.
Yeah, take some time to reflect on the various situations in your own life where a well-crafted self-introduction could truly make a difference. Consider how applying these principles can not only improve your initial interactions, but also potentially open doors to new opportunities and help you build stronger connections.
And maybe consider this. What are some of the unique aspects of your background, your interests, or maybe your personal journey that you could thoughtfully weave into your introduction? Something to make it genuinely memorable and authentically you. That's where the real power of a great self-introduction lies, isn't it?
Absolutely. Making it your own